Hi friends, it's Missy Shipman with Missy's Glad Heart Studio. Once again, I'm delighted to partner with the Baldwinsville Public Library to bring you a monthly crafting class. We've been gathering together for over 16 years, either in person or virtually, on the second Thursday of each month. And it's a tradition I'm so happy to continue. Thanks for those of you who picked up your kit from the library of the supplies to create our projects tonight. If you didn't get a kit, I hope you'll use these ideas to combine your own materials from your own stash to create some fun projects. We have 4 projects for tonight. One is a floral card with a lot of different textures. This I hope will be useful for several occasions. You'll have in your kit, you have one or the other of these fun die cut sticker cards. They're a great large size, which is fun if you have lots of people to sign the card, or if you want a really great display worthy piece for a party. Another project is the tea card. And you know that I love tea and that I love pockets. So this is a card inspired by the class that Cindy from Hawaii and I taught this past month as a fundraiser for the Aaron's Angels. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that when we're putting that one together. And then our 4th project will be this fun photo cube box. And I created mine as a gift for my dad for Father's Day and his birthday, and just chose favorite photos from our family. And you can use this as a paperweight, on the office. You could actually use it as a gift box and put something inside. It could be an ornament on the tree. Lots of ways to use this clever box. So let's get started. I do want to show you, if you're going to be doing stamping with the non-consumable kit that you borrowed from the library, you might have an ink pad that's our old style from Stampin' Up. And if you do, the best way to open that is to go where these 3 dots are, push there, flip, and slide. Okay, so that's the old style ink pad. What's wonderful is that it's designed so that the ink is upside down when it's being stored. You can see it's underneath, right? And that keeps the ink fresh and juicy. The new style pad are a little simpler to open. You just lift up and slide. We'll be using this fun new ink color called Starry Sky tonight. Let's begin with the tea card, because I want to tell you a little more about the Aaron's Angels fundraiser and the beautiful cards that my friend Cindy designed as part of this class. So these use the new suite called Tea Boutique, and they're all fun pocket cards. And the one that I used as inspiration for our project tonight is this one here that uses, again, some more of the in colors, and it has this pocket on the side. So if you're interested in learning more about the Tea Boutique suite, or about the classes that Cindy and I offer, or about fundraising opportunities for a charity that you love, please let me know. These are fun pocket ones, and it was great to raise funds and awareness for Aaron's Angels. The stamp set called Cup of Tea has a lot of versatile greetings. I love the take care of yourself, such an important thing. So to make this card, you'll want to find the packet that has the white envelope and slide that right out. This is one of our basic note cards with envelopes, and it's so handy. The card is already cut to the correct size. It's already scored, so you'll just fold on that crease on that fold. And you're going to do the same with folding this piece of striped paper, this curry paper. You're going to fold long edge to long edge. We call that like a hot dog bun fold instead of a hamburger one, where we're making it nice and narrow. And we'll begin by putting this on the edge of the front of the card. Now we want to secure it to the front, but on the inside, we only want to have a little adhesive at the top and the bottom so that we'll have an insert pocket. So let's begin. I'm going to tuck that fold right against the card front so that I know it's in the right position. I'll take my Tombow adhesive, my liquid glue. You could also use snail or seal or another adhesive choice, but you know that I love Tombow because it does give me a moment to fiddle it if I have to wiggle it a little bit, because it takes a moment for it to bond to the paper, bond the paper to the paper. Now remember, as we're working along together, you can pause, you can rewind, you can replay, you can advance the video to get the timing right. I'm going to go ahead at a pretty quick pace so that I can have time to show you all of the projects that we're making tonight. Now I'm just going to give some gentle pressure here to help that glue adhere the 2 layers of paper. And when that's all dry, we'll be able to put the pocket in here. But I do want it to be nice and dry first. So here's some of this lovely starry sky paper. Isn't that handsome? Now let's see, I think I forgot to pull out my little You Are Terrific for you. But I will just demonstrate the rest of the card so you see how that goes together. We'll glue this square designer series paper onto the starry sky. I like to just say that name. It's such a pleasant one. We'll take some dimensionals, and usually on a square this size I would put 5, kind of like a domino. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll adhere that. So in your kit you either have a You Are My Cup of Tea or a You Are Terrific little label, and that's what you can add to the base to bottom of the card. Now, if you have the stamp set and you want to add some stamping to this, or if you have a stamp that's appropriate for your any of the images that came in your sample kit to borrow from the library, then you could certainly add that. Let's go ahead and just make this, since I don't have my tag handy, I'm going to show you how I can just add some decor to this corner here. It's time for tea, and I'll take my marker, my Starry Sky Stampin' Write marker. It has 2 tips. One is bold for coloring in, and one is a fine tip. And I'm just going to pretend it's got that little string there, that it's time for tea, okay? So you remember, you'll have that label you can add to your card however you like. I just added a little bit of accent with the stamping. So this is our time for tea card. Let that dry before you put your tea in there. Now the envelope, let's add some flowers to the envelope flap. And when I'm doing this, what I have to just make sure is that I have some scrap paper around the flap so that I can go off the edge. I think it looks more natural and appealing if the flowers are stamped some full on the envelope and flap and some kind of hanging off the edge. So that's why I've put that scrap paper there. And then I can move it and have the scrap paper here too. So a few just kind of hanging off. We call that kind of a wallpaper look, where the design extends off the edge of the paper. So that's a simple way to decorate your envelope for your tea card. Next, let's work on the large card, which features these sticker die cuts. Now the one I'll be assembling tonight is the one with the fox. So you'll have your kit will look something like this. You'll have a large piece of 6 by 12 inch textured cardstock. It's really lovely. And then you'll have some other elements here. Some sticker pieces, some white paper, so that you have a place to write. And so I'm going to show you both, and I'll leave them up here. So if you're working on the deer, you can go along with my steps. You just will have different stickers, okay? So let's begin with the cover of the card. Now you can make your card open to the side or to the top. With this large style card, I like to make it an easel card, which means the fold is at the top. It's really easy to prop up on a table or bureau that way, and it looks really like a piece of art. So I'm going to have the fold at the top while I'm working. I'll take my pumpkin pie paper, and I'm going to adhere that down as my first layer onto the Daffodil Delight paper. It's cut just so there's a nice 1/4 inch border all the way around. Okay, next we'll add this designer series paper piece like this. It's got a chevron look. It has numbers on the other side. So what's fun about our designer series paper is you can mix and match and flip it around. You can decide the elements how you like it to be. We'll take this other strip here, those numbers again. Oh, that's the chevron piece. Let's see. Maybe that's what this one has. Here it is. That's for the inside of the card. This piece has some colorful kind of circus designs, I think, and I'm going to place that on the front of my card. Now you can decide, I'm going to put another sticker along the seam here, so I want more of the color over here to show. There we are. Okay, so then I'm going to take I've got some options here for these accent stickers. This looks like old-fashioned rickrack. I love that. My grandmas used to have aprons with rickrack on the pockets. Anybody remember rickrack? All right, next we can add the main sticker pieces. So this fox, I'm going to carefully pull him off the sticker sheet and position him here so that he's on top of the blue chevron. And remember, if you have Bambi, you can do the same steps. You're just going to have the different colors. We'll give the fox a party hat. And then we have this banner piece. Now, you'll notice on my card, the banner piece looks longer, doesn't it? That's a trick where we take scissors and cut in half the sticker. And then when we position it onto the paper, we're going to put the banner, the label on top, and you won't be able to tell that there's this open part here. But before I put the label on, I'm going to stamp it. It's just generally easier to do stamping when you haven't yet assembled layers. You want it to be a flat surface for stamping. Now you'll notice on my two samples, I have different colors that I've used for the stamp. And these stamps are from one of the sets that I'm featuring at the Let's Kit Together class this month. My friend Cheryl will be with you on Friday morning. And there are two kits I'm featuring, and there generally are other options as well. But one of the kits that we're featuring is the So Cool kit. And it makes these very fun shape cards. Let me take a minute to show you those before we use the stamps. These are fun shape cards that are already die cut and scored for you. We've got some popsicle cards, this fun kiwi popsicle, and they have some elements with the sparkle glitter paper. But these stamps, you'll see happy birthday and you are so cool. They're long, right? They're too long to fit on this label. So I'm going to teach you a trick to use markers on your stamps. And this allows us to use two different colors, and it allows us to position the stamps nicely so that the words can be on top of each other instead of side by side. So here's the You Are So Cool. I'm going to ink up with my pumpkin pie marker. I'm going to ink up the You Are. This marker's a little more loved. I use my supplies with lots of people, including some fabulous artists at the Y each summer, and I love sharing my tools. So sometimes the tip can be a little worn, but it still works well. There we are, and then I'm going to clean that off. And on my scrap paper. And then I will go ahead and ink up the other part. That says So Cool. You are so cool. Billy, can you just grab me a wet paper towel, please? Thank you. My son's back from some errands and he can help me so that I can clean this off. If I don't clean this off well, then some of that orange ink could still transfer. So it's worth taking a time to get that cleaned off with a wet paper towel before we continue. So you could either use a happy birthday from the stamp set or the You Are So Cool. Thank you, son. Thanks very much. So the stamp set looks great. It has all of these images in it. And when you attend the Let's Kit Together class at the library, you get to take the stamp set home. The ink, the stamps, all of the cards you make, and the leftover supplies. So the $20 investment includes a lot of goodies. Here we are with You Are So Cool. So I'm going to take my red marker now. This is actually the Sweet Sorbet. And we're gonna just decorate, just paint right on the letters that we want so that we have "You Are So Cool." All right, now I can peel that label off, and I'm going to layer it now on top of that red label that we split. And see how people will never know that the sticker doesn't go all the way across behind. It's just a special trick. Now let's finish the card by working on the inside. So here's the inside of the Bambi card, and here of the friendly fox. So I'm going to take my, let's put this under so you'll have room to see. We're going to adhere the remaining designer series paper. I'll get some glue on here, and we'll put that in place. And then we're going to add that nice piece of basic white so that we've got a surface for writing a message, writing a poem or a greeting or a scripture or a favorite verse. Having room for lots of family members to sign the card maybe. And now we'll take this other little accent piece, these scallops, line that up. So if you have the Bambi card, your stickers vary a little bit, but they're quite similar. We're going to take the balloon, put that here, and the pumpkin pie flower will place on the balloon. Okay, so you still have a few more dots you could add to the back of your card, the inside of your card, wherever you like, or just use them for other projects. And there you have it. "You Are So Cool," or the happy birthday. Remember, if you have any questions, you can put them right in the comments. You can also reach out to me by private message, or find me on at my online site at gladheart.stampinup.net, or on Facebook at Missy's Glad Heart Studio. I love to answer questions. Questions help me learn things. So I always welcome questions. If you have comments, if you have suggestions for what you might like to see next time, or tips and things you'd like to learn, that's fun for me to hear from you as well. Next, we'll make this really fun card that's got a lot of texture. The base of the card is already pre-printed for us, so it's a simple card without any stamping. We're just going to do the assembly. Now this card, let's see here, has a few special kind of delicate pieces inside, so hopefully it managed to get to you safely. We'll set those aside for a moment, and we'll take our twine, our Blushing Bride twine, and wrap it around the front of the card base. So to do this, I just hold with my thumb, I make a tail, I hold it with my thumb, and then I'm going to wrap it around, and then tie a bow. Now this twine has a little bit of, stretch to it. So sometimes I need to do it practice it here 2 times to get it to go through there. It's a little stretchy. And if you want your bow to be over to the right, the way I've designed it. Now remember, you can use your supplies any way you like, and I think variations are so much fun to see. So if you create your cards and you combine the elements differently, either from the kit or other things that you have in your stash, please post them in the comments. I love to see the variety of things that people create with the same kit and then embellish it with other items. Now this vellum is just a translucent, gentle paper, and what that's going to do is sort of mute the colors behind it. It's just adding some texture, and I'm going to adhere that with a little bit of snail, which is a 2 double-sided sticky tape. Vellum shows adhesives very well because it's more clear, translucent. So you do want to be strategic about where you put the adhesive. You'll notice I just put it in a strip in the center here where it's going to be covered up by the sentiment. So now we're going to add, you either have a congrats, a thanks, or a celebrate wooden word. And so whichever one you have, you can adhere it with glue dots or a little bit of this Tombow multi-purpose glue. We're going to just center that here onto the vanilla banner. And then I'll use some Stampin' Dimensionals to put it on the top. Here they are. So when I'm positioning something over twine like this, I like to put my dimensionals north and south of where the twine will be, up at the top and at the bottom, so that this middle section here is where that twine is going to lie, and it won't be extra bumpy. It will, the bulk of the dimensional will kind of cancel out or equal the bulk of the twine. There we are. Congrats. So that one was a simple card to assemble. Remember, if you need to pause, you can do that at any time with the video to catch up on the steps. I think this is a fun kit that had envelopes in it. This was a paper pumpkin kit originally, but I've modified it by adding these other elements. So there we are. You either have congrats, thanks, or celebrate. And I hope you'll have a wonderful occasion to share that with someone special this summer. Now we're going to finish up with our Father's Day or birthday box. I think it's kind of fun to showcase these papers for you. And obviously once you've assembled it with your photos, the photos are the star of the show. But let me show you how fun these different designer series paper are. They are designed to look like ties or business suits, silk ties or the different tweed fabrics. They do have designs on the front and the back, so you can pick your favorites. There's a gingham and a plaid. Don't they look like fun shirt fabrics? And so you can decide which front and back you want to do. And you're going to cover each surface of the box with one of the squares. So I love the sound of the snail. We're going to just use that two double-sided adhesive to secure them. Now you'll notice each side of the box, the paper's cut so that there's a little bit border of that nice craft box still showing. You can see that here too. So as you position them, you're going to center them on each square. There's no real rule to how they go in any pattern order. You can decide if you have a favorite, how you want to position it. Also in your kit, you have two very vanilla squares, and I kept those for you so that if you wanted one of your sides or two of your sides, instead of having a photo, you could have a stamped or written greeting, and I'll show you an example of that in just a moment. So I've got the four sides. Now I think I mentioned earlier that this box I'm choosing to be kind of like a paperweight box. So I sealed it up so that I didn't actually use it as a gift box. But this one, maybe we'll put some candy inside or something before we seal it up or close it up. So now the bottom assembly of the box, I did that rather quickly. You'll notice, I'll just show you one more time here. The pieces that have the smooth edges go down first. The pieces that look more like Star Wars here, that have the little extra pieces, extra shapes, they are put in the box, fit into those little slits on both sides. So it's a really clean surface here. And now we can put our designer series paper square on that. And then we have one more for the top here. So I'm going to go ahead and put the designer series paper on all the sides so that I have my box complete. And then I'll show you one of the ideas I had for a greeting. There we are. So this is a greeting from a stamp set that's from another kit collection, paper pumpkin kit that's available in our Friday class. This one is called Play Ball, I think. But it has baseball themed items. So there are 3 cards that you make 3 each of the 3 different designs. They're a lot of fun. If you like Harry Potter, then if you like Gryffindor, these are colors. You could modify your cards to make some fun Gryffindor cards. And the stamp set that comes with this one is great. It has a lot of family names: mom, brother, friend, uncle, grandpa, son, dad, and then ever. So you're the greatest of all time, or you're the best ever. And some baseball themes, but also these words would be versatile for many, many other themes. And to make the best, you're the best grandpa, I just stamped with the navy ink onto one of the vanilla squares. So in this kit, the navy, let's see if I can find it on my table. There is a navy ink spot. The one for the Paper Pumpkin So Cool kit is this fun color Bermuda Bay from that stamp set. And I just wanted to show you, you get all kinds of extra goodies besides the materials to make the cards. This one makes 3 each of 4 designs, but it also has some fun sticker sheets and these lovely printed envelopes. So I'm not sure where my navy ink spot is right now, but I'm going to use the Starry Sky ink, which is quite similar, to show you how I did the 2 tones for this project. I stamped the You're the Best. There we are. And then using the marker, I did the word Grandpa. So using the stamp set, here is the word Grandpa. This one let's make for Uncle, okay? And I'll put the stamp on a little block. And then if you have an ink pad that's the color you like, that's great. If you need to use markers, the markers can be colored right directly on the stamp like we did for the other Happy Birthday and You're So Cool. And then I can add the You're the Best Friend. I was going to do Uncle, but we did Friend. So this could then be added to the box along with photos or pictures that you draw. You can have, especially young people love to make projects for their loved ones on holidays, and capturing their art at different ages and stages is a great thing to do. And something like this is really easy to store and keep as a keepsake and economical to create. So I hope you've had fun crafting along with me today for our June class. Let me pull back in the projects that we made. And if you have any questions, I hope you'll put them in the comments. And I'd love for you to take part in our Let's Kit Together, which will be on Friday. And my friend Cheryl will be leading that class while I'm traveling. And it will be delightful for you to come and create either with the baseball kit or the ice cream kit or another option. We generally have a few choices, so you can make a choice for projects that you would like. So again, thank you for taking part. Thank you, Julia, for partnering with me and supporting this effort to share our love of paper crafting. And best to all of you. Happy summer. Bye-bye.